But right now, we welcome a guy who has an idea for Bio-Sunn, and that is a concept for new renewable fuels, a biofuels plant out in central or somewhere in North Dakota, and a pulpless paper mill, a treeless paper mill, is more appropriately put. And so Michael Burgess joins us now. Hello, Michael.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Dr. Michael Burgess, by the way.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah. Although I need to get a physical here. However, you can't give me a physical. You're not that kind of a doctor, though, I assume.
I'm not, no.
Okay.
I'm the academic side.
Okay. What is your PhD in?
It's a doctor from Michigan in voice performance and music, actually.
Oh, wow. Very good. So you help people project and sing and be better?
Sure have.
Oh, wow,
Sure
fantastic.
done. I've done a lot of it myself, too. Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Have you worked with any big celebrities or just making college kids become celebrities?
Well, a lot of that kind of stuff, yeah. In fact, I've got a student who's doing real well with Chicago Lyric Opera here in town that I taught down in San Antonio. So they're starting to teach me things at this point.
All right, very good. All right, well, yeah, it's amazing. There's a lot of farmers who are into playing music, and a lot of people have multiple talents. So, well, another one of your areas of expertise, Dr. Burgess, is renewable energy. And a fellow out in central North Dakota named Lewis has put together an idea. He says he's been working on it for 20 years. And he came to you for some assistance in making a presentation to the North Dakota Ag Product Utilization Commission, and you're helping him out. So what is the idea?
That is really well put, very succinctly, yes. Lewis Bauer in Walhalla, North Dakota, way up there in the north, it looks like to me. He says you can throw something in his land in Canada, I think is how it is. Mm-hmm. He's been at this for 20 years with trying to put together a plan to development there in Walhalla or near Walhalla that will create paper from flax straw. And what that process does is produce a kind of biomass that can also be turned into cellulosic biofuel. So it's a pretty complex process, but we're trying to turn the development into something that will combine both. And he's been trying to get the development together for at least that long. He was way ahead of his time. 20 years ago, gas prices were low. It was a different kind of economy. And now the conditions have all changed. He's been through it a few times, been close a few times, but we think with the people he's put around him, what's going on in the country, what's happening internationally, the time is just right for him. And this is it.
Well, this is very interesting because flax, North Dakota, the number one flax producer in the U.S., and there hasn't been too much of a demand for flax straw lately. What have they been doing with the excess flax straw lately?
What I know about flax, what Lewis has told me, and again, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a engineer or anything like that, but what I've learned about flax straw is that it's pretty much a waste product, that it's not commercially viable for anything. I guess you can put it in the bedding for animals, and otherwise they gather it, put it in holes, and burn it, from what I understand.
Well, about 30.
So otherwise it's useless.
Yeah, about 30 to 40 years ago, there was a pretty good market for making, a type of linen, linseed oil, right. But that's kind of fallen off. So I would assume there's an abundant supply of flax straw out there.
Well, that's probably what gave him the idea, sitting there up in North Dakota looking around and trying to probably envision his future. And he found out this kind of technology, it's international kind of technology that takes flax, the waste of flax, and turns it into paper. And so he's been putting that together, putting that idea together and putting the people around him and trying to develop it for about the last 20 years or so, yeah.
There's some very large paper mills over in northeastern Minnesota, but, North Dakota is not famous for our trees. So
no, it's what I gather, yeah.
Yeah, so having a paper mill in North Dakota, I think that'd be almost probably not a first, but certainly unique.
It will be unique. It's a unique kind of thing, yeah. And to combine it, to realize that through the development process that it creates this byproduct that can be turned into biofuel, that's just a huge addition to the project, and probably the thing that'll push it over the top, really. In today's environment.
Yeah, what kind of biofuel would you be creating from the waste of the paper mill?
this particular one is called cellulosic biofuel. And again, I'm not a scientist. I just know that that's a certain kind of biofuel that produces ethanol, a kind of ethanol. Can be used for almost anything. It can be put in your cars. It's not biodiesel, so it's not just for diesel cars. This is not biodiesel fuel. It's ethanol. It can be used mixed with certain kinds of wet gas. It can be used for vehicles. It can be used, I think methane is produced. It can be a gas that would burn in stoves, things like that. So it's a very useful product and created right in North Dakota from this process. It's not oil. It's not overseas. We don't have to buy it. It's produced right there in North Dakota and, by Americans.
Right on. What is the now you're going to be making a presentation to the Ag Products Utilization Commission. We affectionately call them APUC. And
APUC, that's right.
Yeah, in about a month, and this is a process that is being done in other parts of the world right now?
It is. Yeah, we're not talking about pie in the sky stuff, not anymore. There's plants running, from what I understand. One of Lewis's partners is from Germany, and he knows that this exists in Italy, where there's a plant that's defunct now, but there's running plants in Spain, in Uzbekistan. So there's places where this is actually occurring. It's not a matter anymore of proving the science. It's provable that this occurs, that it can be commercially viable. The only thing left is to make it happen there in Walhalla.
Now, Flax is famous for making a type of paper that can be used either as Bible pages or cigarette paper. Do you know what kind of a paper it would create, Lewis's plant up there?
What kind of paper? It's a thing that the man on the organic food side called bagasse, I think is what it's called. And it can be used. What the market for Lewis will be on that side is an organic wrapping paper. It could be for food containers. It could be for wrapping. There's another side of it that could turn into the kinds of paper you're talking about. But what this looks like it's going to be is it's a biodegradable. That is, it doesn't become garbage. You can throw it in the compost, but it would become wrapping and packaging for organic food products.
Okay,
that's the way it's looking.
Very good. And then you were creating renewable energy from the biomass after that. Pretty smart. This is like
pretty clever, yeah.
Yeah, this is 21st century thinking. This is what the world is going to turn on here in many years from now.
It has to. It just has to.
Right. Well, Michael Burgess, glad you're involved in the project. Glad it's a North Dakota project, making paper from flax straw and then from the biomass, making ethanol. Sounds like a pretty good idea. And I guess in a month or 6 weeks, we'll find out how good of a presenter you are and see if you can persuade the APUC.
No pressure there, Nick.
No. Well, we're talking about it. Some of the folks get like 10,000, 5,000, 15,000. I know you're going for $250,000. So, that won't come straight from APUC. That's a combination of investment, but we're asking for a good chunk. But this is a huge thing for North Dakota. All right. Well, we wish you lots of luck, Mike Burgess. Pleasure visiting with you.
With you too. Thank you.
Thank you.